in the Bishop half. Takes it, sends it to just outside the penalty area. York gets ahead to it towards Loza. Loza having problems with Ogwazor. But it's well won by Store, but it's hoofed back in by Bishop. Kelly Evans is then head-butted and goes down, much to the displeasure of the Bishop fans. And Kelly Evans on his derriere, but he gets up eventually. It will be a free kick to the Poppies. Yezif coming out. Kettering fans in the Essex Mortgage stand. Hope to see a little bit more action coming towards them in the second half, and definitely need it. As I say, Kettering draw will be another draw. It'll be 4 draws on the trot. Did that last season, I think it was, and the season before. And the season before cost us in the Vanarama too many draws. Kelly Evans is okay. He's up. Having to wipe his nose. Maybe a bit of blood on there. He's having to come over to Michael Hunter to get getting some water to wash away the problem. So Yezif then, Yezif over the ball. Referee looking at Kelly Evans. He's back on. He's okay. He's been checked by the referee. Yezif on the far side. 0-0 in the second half.
Bedford still 2-0 down, and Stamford are 1-0 up.
Ball in towards Ranger. He can't get there. York can, just traps it well. Still York going out wide. Still York has got Loza with him. And puts the ball out of play, and it comes off Charles for a Kettering throw-in. It's with Hart on the far side. Hart puts one in towards Low, chests it down. He goes right into the arms of Garansky. And it remains 0-0.
Still 0-0, Paul. Results are going our way so far. We can only get a goal. And we've got some options on the bench, I suppose, but it's still very early days to start thinking about that. Let's see if we can get a shot on target. That's the most important thing at this stage.
It's really the midfield hasn't created anything for the forwards, and that's been the issue for quite a few games as the ball is pumped into the Kettering half. Basiligo on the far side gets it to Charwell. Charwell to Russell. He pumps it towards the number 12. And it will be a Kettering Town throw-in on the far side. It goes out, in fact, for a goal kick. And Lavery giving it some decibels on our left-hand side. Rightly so, as Kettering need to up it. They're in second gear at the moment. They need to really up the ante in this second half. It's Yezif then with the goal kick. Free kick. Sends it long towards Ranger. He gets a chest to it. Miller out to Gudger. Gudger out wide to Wilson. Wilson turns. We've got Loza in front of him. He uses Loza. Good movement from Loza. Loza down here now. Can he get the ball over? Loza comes inside, then outside. Puts the ball in towards that back post. There's Ranger. Ranger heads the ball down towards Miller, but he can't do much with it. It arrives back at Gudger. Gudger squares it. It's a poor ball from Gudger, giving White a bit of a fright onto Ranger. And cleared by Chalwell. White wins the header towards Storer. He turns very well. There's a pirouette there from him. Torvill and Deanish gets it out to Hart. He tries to switch it towards Ranger. A little flick from him to Wilson, who slips but gets the ball to Loza. Then he carries on his run. Loza is in the outside. He goes inside, outside, coming through. Loza still there. Loza. He's been blocked out though. Too many Bishop players, and ball has gone for the goal kick. It's going to be a substitution. McClintock coming on.
McClintock, yes. Just getting a quick handshake there from Dan and Chris Lavery there on the bench. So Luca Miller coming off. I think that's a good practical substitution there, because Miller was didn't have very much of an impact there in the first half. He was struggling, I think, to make his impression, Paul. I think in that second, and that's certainly in the second half from Miller. It's just wasn't his day. But certainly McClintock will certainly provide a little bit more zest, a little bit more persistence in midfield, and maybe be able to try and supply the front two and see if we can try and get a shot on target.
58 minutes gone here at Latimer Park, at Bishop Stortford, still 0-0, and ball goes out of play, and they're not very happy there. The Bishop fans right in front of Steve Castle, and he can't believe it that the referee the linesman has given a throw in there, but he has. Goodger accepts it gleefully. So almost half an hour gone, and hits the referee, and that will be Bishop Stortford ball. Breaks the play down. So ball out wide towards Charles. He can only Goodger heads it out of play. Been taken quickly to Howell. Howell inside with a little flick there. Number 12 doing well. Gets the ball back to Howell. Howell, right foot, he puts the ball in. Cleared by Hart, only towards the shot. Here comes in. Deflected. If that had been on target, that would have been pressure there for Kettering. Goes away, deflected for a corner. Still 0-0. Pressure for the Poppies.
That was a great opportunity there from Bishop Stortford just outside the 18-yard box. The ball was smothered by the Kettering defender there. It's ricocheted out for the left-hand side for a corner, which Bishop Stortford are in no particular hurry to take as Adams goes over. Sorry, Brad Russell goes over to take this. There are 5 Bishop Stortford players in the area. Got to defend it. Ball comes across. Goes right over Yeseb. He didn't even make an attempt to go for the ball there, but it's gone sailing over him and gone out for a goal kick on the other side there. But again, with only playing 3 at the back, we're susceptible to these counter-attacks. And certainly with Connor Johnson going off as well, it really is a bit of a threat there. But nevertheless, we're still in it. It's 0-0.
It is 0-0. And of course, the time to really start to get excited is around 88 minutes, isn't it? As most goals seem to come from around that time. So we have to rely on the last 3 weeks. We've had goals galore in those last few minutes, but it is Stortford getting the ball through to Melvin Lambert. There is Basilo on the far side, doing well. Cleared by Kelly Evans. The ball is put forward towards Loza. Loza now, can he get the ball through? Loza, 1-on-1, can he get the ball in? Knocked down. Should be a penalty. And penalty to Kettering. Loza brought down. And Bishop can't believe it. But the prize of off from the Kettering player, I think it'll be a booking. He won't.
Yeah, it's a booking.
He won't go off for that. But it was all over Loza. And just about to strike. Penalty to the Poppies. No Edwards, who's been taking the penalties of recent. So this is a very, very good opportunity.
This is it. This is a season-defining moment, if there ever was one at this point. It was a definite penalty. Lovely play in the middle of the field there. Ranger barely got the ball, played it out to McClintock. McClintock played it through to Loza. Loza was in on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, and he was clipped as he's just about to unleash a shot on target. But this is the opportunity. We've got Alec, is it Storer? Yeah, Storer is now over the ball. He's picked up the ball. He's on the penalty spot. Referee is still having some discussions with some of the Bishop Stortford players there on the right-hand side. He needs to get on with it. He's just checking to make sure everybody's outside the D, but it's Alex Storer with the ball, and no Rangers coming over to give him a few words of advice. No, it's Ranger. Ranger's going to take it.
But that was good there because the goalkeeper was having words with Storer and giving him all sorts of eyes and things. The Ranger steps up to take the penalty. Ranger then against Krasnicki. Ranger 1-0.
It's 1-0.
Ranger plants it by, and the Kettering fans go delirious. 1-0 to the Poppies.
Fantastic result. Everybody's gone to the fans at the far end. Kettering Town to celebrate with the fans, but a lovely Great finish there from Ranger. Very calm and collected, as you might expect. Into the top left-hand corner of Kosnicki's goal as Ranger just indicates to the fans just to give them a keep going. Let's see how we go as they're walking back to the centre circle. Lowe's has come over to the bench, have a bit of a discussion, I think, as the Kempton Town management team just decide what they want to do. But it's a very important goal there. And in the meantime, Bishop Stortford are going to make a change there with number 17 coming on, Paul.
Yeah, Presley Evans is coming on for Ryan Charles, making an immediate change. 64th minute, that goal went in, that penalty. Niall Ranger back on the score sheet, having a quick chat with Lavs, and Kettering take the lead. Very importantly, need to now capitalise on that penalty, but 1-0 it is.
Indeed, and it was a penalty. There's no issues with that. As Lowe's is in here again, but he got caught there, but a great opportunity to try and get the ball back, which they've done. But it was well-worked goal. It's got to go to a Kettering. It's giving it to Bishop. Paul Cook's indicating to the referee that it should have gone the other way, but nevertheless.
On about getting to get back 20
yards.
He
just wants it back 20 yards. He's such a stickler for the
rules here. The referee did see that and has moved him back. So
yeah, as he should, Paul.
As he should. But Scott falls down, but does well, gets up, but is robbed by Kelly Evans. Kelly Evans trying to get Lozer away, but it's back with Wilson. Wilson does well. Still Wilson going forward. Wilson's got two round him. Nobody else. Wilson still with the ball and goes out. It's a Kettering Town throw in. Lowe's have been in a handful all afternoon, and he caused the penalty last week that got Kettering back into 2-1. And he's certainly played his part in this as Loza gets the ball again, turns. Still Loza being played out wide. He's got Wilson with him. Wilson still back to Wilson. Then Loza goes down injured, like he's been hitting the shortened curlies. And he rolls around, but the ball is with Ranger. Ranger's got McClintock with him. Ranger back to McClintock. McClintock getting his first real touch of the afternoon. Fends the ball back to Hart. Hart to White, back to White. Loza is up, back to McClintock. McClintock turns, good movement from him. Hart puts the ball in here. It arrives only though at Thompson, the captain. Then York is pushed in the back, right on the edge of the penalty area. And blatant free kick there to the Poppies.
Bishop a bit rattled now, Paul. I think there's a few sort of tackles, rash tackles coming in, which is obviously going to benefit Kettering anyway, just to slow the clock down, but to get a bit more organised. And having a chat with Johnny Edwards there as well, who's warming up. But this is a good opportunity for the Poppies.
It is. We said at Latimer Park that they're a very, very physical side, and although Kettering have had all the fouls against them this afternoon, when it's mattered, Bishop have created their own downfall, and the penalty being one of them, and anything should happen here, then again, it was a silly foul on York, who was going nowhere with it, really, but they'll take the free kick. That's a good 10 yards by the referee, and a booking to a Bishop player. Can't see who it is, but obviously said something in the wall. And second Bishop player to go into the book. That you've got.
I think it's Russell. Russell. I think.
Well, he was a bit cantankerous at Latimer Park. You've got Wilson and you've got Storer over the ball. The last free kick hits the wall. The fans all behind there. You hopefully can hear them. It's a good distance, just 5 yards outside the penalty area. Wilson takes it, leaves it. Storer puts it in. Oh, just goes wide of the post there. The goalie was at full stretch. I thought that snuck in, but it just goes wide. Good effort from Storer. And Kettering on the ascendancy in the second half. Griswicki with the goal kick.
Got about 18 minutes to go, I think, Paul. So let's hope that Kettering can hold their ground here. Wilson plays it back to Goodyear. Goodyear clears it back up to McClintock, who's actually started well since he's came on. Goes forward, Lewis White underneath this. He's had a great game, to be fair. Soares underneath this, but lose it. Goodyear puts a foot in, but Bishop Stortford retain the ball with Scott. Scott tries to look and going to get a cross in, which he can, but it's well blocked there by Kelly Evans. And that'll go for a throw to Kettering Town. Scott is has been the perennial threat in this game. But he was policed there well by Ty Wilson and Kelly Evans as Kettering get a throw deep into their own half. Just on the left-hand side here as the Poppies faithful are certainly into full voice away to our left. Referee again is just pushing Goodyear back, making sure he's not stealing any yards. Still pushing him back even further. Referee's assistants tell him he can take the throw from the car park. Oh, and meanwhile, Yesef is down again. He's gone down clutching that right shoulder once again as the Bishop Stortford players immediately go to the bench, as do the Kettering Town players. As Tom and Richards and Frankie Fry are just administering some discussions and some tactical observations there to the team. But I mean, Yesef will have to try and carry on if he can. We've already made one substitution. We've got no substitute keeper on the bench here. And all the Kettering fans are shouting, "We are top of the league," which indeed, as we speak, Paul, we are.
We're going to be concerned about Yesef, who is down again, and it doesn't look good for him. But out there is Michael Hunter, who's administering what he can to Dan. It's that arm again, which has been problematic in the last few games. But referee taking a swig of water, and I hope he's cleaned that top and not just flick it back.
Yeah.
Don't want his lipstick all over.
No, we don't want any backwash in terms of that. We've got enough problems as it is without getting involved in any hygiene issues. But I must admit, as it stands at the moment, and we dare say it that we are top, but one of the factors that we haven't really considered at the moment is the goal difference, and certainly we're on plus 26 at the moment, and certainly that's much more than Bedford's, who are only on plus 14. So again, it doesn't make any difference, but we are top at the moment as play is just about to restart with Wes York with a throw in down underneath us.
York then taking the throw in finally. Back in the way, Ranger shirt being pushed there, but it gets the ball to McClintock. He overcooks the ball though, and Ranger gets in, does well, gets the ball, but loses it. Kelly Evans slices that one. It's going to bounce to Hart rather fortuitously. He sends it long and wide to McClintock. They look very, very similar with the hairstyles to McClintock and Hart. But the ball is with White, back to Hart on the byline. Then is fouled off the ball. And again, a late tackle from a Bishop player. And the cries of off from the Kettering fans. Hart goes down. And the referee is getting a card out. And that is Presley Evans, who just came on. He goes into the referee's book. Very late indeed. So late he could have caught a plane.
Oh, how very apt and poignant that is. But there's no need for that, actually, because he
going nowhere.
Going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere on the far side of the middle of the Bishop Stortford pitch there. And it's just needless, to be honest. A bit of a impetuous challenge there from the substitute, but gives a chance for Kettering Town to get the ball into the box. And we've got Lewis White, Goodyear, Ranger and Losa are all up just straddling that 18-yard line.
So the free kick then, Storer with it on the far side. Carl Storer looks up, whistle goes in. It comes low trajectory towards Ranger. Goodyear gets a head to it, hooked away by Bishop, only towards Kelly Evans. He gets the header out towards Losa, but it hits Howell and goes away for a Poppy's throw in. Losa wants to take it quickly, but Kettering aren't lined up for it. So York gets the ball to Losa from the throw in. He has to turn, gets the ball back to Wes. Wes looks up, does a little pirouette. Still York going down by the corner flag, gets the ball over towards that back post. There is Wilson. Wilson traps it. And White gets the header to Hart on the far side. Hart plays it out wide to McClintock. McClintock out wide, sends away Hart. And a good tackle and clearance only towards Wilson, though. Wilson inside. Wilson tries a shot, comes in straight at the goalkeeper. Well hit by Wilson. Keeper did well at his near post. Krizwicki catches it. And
that was a great fizz. It was a fizzer of a shot there, wasn't it? Just by Wilson right on the edge of the 18-yard box there. And certainly the pressure has been put on by Kettering Town as they defend another Bishop attack down towards our right-hand side.
Indeed, York though with the throw. He's looking at the referee, what he's doing. He looks at his watch. 2 more substitutions for Bishop, Cohen and Castle coming on.
And they make the substitutions at the moment. Just trying to see who coming off there. It's number 9. He's Melvin Lambert is coming off. I can't see the other player for Bishop at the moment because they've not put
it. Wazzy, isn't it? Is it Wazzy?
Looks like it.
No, it's that's Lambert. Who was the other one?
I don't know. I can't see. I haven't seen to have made any other changes.
Well, there is somebody else that's come on, but again, very poor board work. Malk wouldn't like the board work there.
He would not.
You couldn't see anything, to be fair. But Ranger as a header towards Loza, is pushed in the back. The ball is with Loza in the centre. Loza plays it out wide to Hart on that far side. And Bedford got a goal back, 2-1, as Hart is fouled again on that far side on the halfway line. So all things happening in Suffolk at the moment, all things happening here in Hertfordshire. And rise of we are top of the league. Hope we are not sure how long's left of our clock isn't working as we go along with the rest of what hasn't been working, but Lowe's are down there. He can't get the ball. Wilson gets it to McClintock. McClintock gets the return, feeds it to Storer. He squares it to Gudger. Got York on this left-hand side. York goes inside. Still York plays it into the centre to Storer. Storer out wide to Hart on the far side. Hart comes inside, running towards Kelly Evans down by the byline. Can he get the ball over? He can. It's a poor ball in, though. It's not. It's hit out, cleared by Bishop. Only towards Gudger. Gudger waits for the bounce, hooks it back in. Clear towards a Ranger. It rather luckily goes to the number 14, and it is cleared only towards York, though. York, fouled in the back, but not given, but then wins the ball back. Good work there for the Poppies. Chance towards Ranger. He can't get there. Cleared. Good work. That will be a Bishop throw-in, though. Getting a bit frenetic here at the moment as time is marching on.
What about?
Georgia then misses that ball, a bit of a clearance. That should be a Kettering throw-in if it comes off, which it does. It cannons off Gary Cohen. And that would be a Poppy throw-in on this right-hand side.
I think we can... we're watching what's happening in Suffolk, but really it's just making sure that we've got a chance to keep this lead, because Bishop Stortford are a good attacking side, and the game's not over.
Into the 77th minute here, and Kettering leading this one 1-0, but York lets that one go over his head, thought it was going out, but in doing so, Cohen overran him and then fouls York in the process. Kettering got a free kick down by the corner flag. And Stratford 1, Stamford 1 as we speak. So things changing around the league as they do as we get into the final quarter of a game. As we know, it's really got to play 100 minutes at this level because everything seems to happen around 80 minutes onwards. And in recent weeks, we've seen goals scored in the 100th minute. So it is a 100-minute game, in my opinion. Can't rely on a 1-0. It'll do if we do win that, but long way to go as Scott, who's not been so influential in the second half, wins the ball. It's a foul on him by Kelly Evans. And Scott is leaving it for Brad Russell. Russell then, it's just in front of the dugout here in front of us, halfway in Kettering's half, near side. Russell with the attempted ponytail, right-footed, puts the ball in. It's a good ball in there. Goes over everybody. and goes out for a goal kick harmlessly.
Bit of a shout there for a penalty from Chalwell. He went down just as that ball was played in, but really nothing happening here. So it looks like we've got another sub coming on here for Kettering. Mount Lou has got his disco board up, and it looks like that we're going to make the change with number 10, Terrell Pennant, coming on. And it looks like Tyree Wilson's going to come off. That's the change. Referee's telling Ty Wilson to go off on the far side, which indeed he is. And Pennant's just about to come on. His shirt's in there. Richard Lavery's giving him some final instructions there.
Well, he has scored a couple of goals, important ones. He's got a cracking goal at Sudbury to win that 1-0. He also scored against Starbridge, another cracking goal as well. He got one at home, so he has found the net a few times. It is like for like, really. Wilson for Pennant.
He is, Paul. I think the other thing is I think Richard Lavery is hoping that he'll be able to apply some pressure to the back four and keep them away from our goal.
Well, Loza can't reach that one. McClintock can't either. Scott can, though, and he does well. Arguably their best player is Scott so far, but Kelly Evans had the ball, then lost it. It's away with Castle. I presume Castle is the son of the manager. Wes York fends him off and sends the ball towards Ranger, but that's going to be won by Haynes. He finds Thompson.
Let's try to play the ball forward again. Well done by Goodyear's police. Well, Storr looks a bit tired in midfield, but he's lost the ball out there as it goes out to Russell again, out to Scott. Edgley plays a ball in there, but that should be, SF says it is. He picks the ball out of the air quite easily. I think he might have tweaked his shoulder again, but he's just taking his time getting up. But again, it just shows that we're a bit of fragility at the back, and certainly with the poignancy and attack of Bishop Stortford, is certainly with Stortford with Scott. He's been a threat all game, to be honest.
So then goal kick taken by Yezif, trying to find Ranger, but Stortford get the ball. It is Haynes with it, but he loses it. And Kettering give the ball away, then retain it through Storer. He's in the centre circle, plays the ball back to Lewis White. He pumps the ball forward for Pennant to get a chance to run, but there is Ogwazor. He loses the ball, though, to Pennant, and he gets it to McClintock, back to Pennant. It stands still at the moment as Pennant feigning to go one way, goes the other. Gets the ball through to Ranger. Ranger flicks it through to Pennant. Pennant through here. Pennant puts it in. 2-0! Ranger, and Pennant stabs it in. 2-0 to the Poppies.
Well, fantastic move there. Patience on the far right-hand side as the players go over to celebrate with the Poppies fans. One beautiful cameo there was to see Malk Lua, who's the kit man. He's running just behind Richard Lavery towards the fans there at the end, just with his fist pumping up in the air. But that's a massive goal for us, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic work from Kettering. Ranger once again involved in it. Threads the ball through. Pennant, who's only just come on with virtually his first kick of the game, stabs it through into the 83rd minute. And Kettering go 2-0 ahead. Pennant's fourth goal of the season. And what a vital one that could be, Doug.
Paul, I think you were certainly mystic, Paul, there at the beginning, because you felt that when he came on, you'd given him the bit of a G up then, scoring those 4 goals that we mentioned earlier. But he took it well. He had time. Lovely pass through from Ranger. He's had one of his better games, I think, over the latter part of the run-in a Kettering shirt. And Bishop Stortford are now lining up 6 players on the halfway line to go forward. We've got a few minutes left. Let's all to play for.
Harborough have equalised against St Ives. The ball is pumped forward towards Yezif, who goes down, then falls on it. Into probably the 84th minute here of this game. Kettering 2-0 ahead. Listed Poppies TV audio, sponsored by L. Goodsbury. Thank you, Marcus, once again, with myself, Paul Cook, and Doug Brown. Excitable after a horrible journey here in the cars, but well worth it at the moment as Pennant comes through again. He tries a volley, And that's more due, I suppose, to something you'd see at Franklin's Gardens, really. Looks like Edwards is going to come on.
Yeah, Edwards got his shirt on, and Maltlow is again making
Ranger
his
coming
third approach there, and it looks like Nile Rangers coming off. 84th minute. So yeah, Richard Levery's barking out his instructions, but certainly there's a round of applause as Nile Rangers coming off. He's holding his hamstring as he does, but I think he'll be okay. A quick hand slap there from Wes York as Johnny Edwards waits. Lovely support there from the Poppies faithful, giving Nile Ranger he is one of our own. Away to our left as Johnny Edwards comes on. Ranger gets an exchange out from all of the Poppies management team, and we've got about 5.5 minutes left now as Reznicki's going to take this goal kick away to our left.
2-0 then, and of course Edwards scored both goals in the reverse fixture. Is he now going to get his first chance here, but he can't get the ball. Of course, you've got to remember that Hitchin were 2-0 up last week, and Kettering got back to 2-2 as Loza does well there and knocked off the ball, but Scott doing exceptionally well. Little flick there. Storer gets it to Kelly Evans. He does well, then loses the ball to Lucas Jordan, who's just come on. McClintock tries to get the ball, but it arrives at Russell, who then falls down out wide here to number 20. We haven't got a 20. Oh, we have. We've got Howell.
For Howell, yeah.
A howl, a howl, a howl. It's the Kettering fans that are howling at the moment, though, as Brad Russell then with the free kick, 5 or 6 yards in Kettering half. Tall our Bishop. It goes towards the back post, headed on, and that should be a goal kick. It is.
It is.
And clock winding down. Well, this is a game Kettering had to win, and it's a game they are winning, and they played exceptionally well in this second half. First half was a bit of a chess game, but they certainly come into it. Ranger making an impact once again. Lowe's has been exceptional. So has Lewis White at the back. Pennant comes on, gets his goal. And after a few scares, Bishop haven't really threatened Yezif, who's had a few injury worries himself. It's thrown on the far side. Been taken. Russell pumps it forward, but there is Hart offside.
Offside.
As some of the Bishop fans now seen enough. They're leaving. Fatal. I don't believe.
I don't believe it. It's just like last week, Paul. I don't know why. I don't know why they leave. The
I
games
understand the disappointment, as we all were last week, but you stay because you never know, especially with the Poppies.
Yeah, very much so. As you say, it's a 100-minute game. It is. You know, we're still not there yet, but Bedford is still 2-1 down in deepest, lowest stuffed.
It's Telford still being held 0-0 by Barwell, but former Poppy Oren Pendley has been sent off. That's a shame. As Lucas Jordan gets the ball, it's a back pass by Gudger. Yezif has to react quickly. He does. So does York. Handball not given as York comes away. Still York fiddling away here and does well. Another plane goes over. That's the Ryanair one.
That's the Ryanair. That's
yeah. Not been too many really. We've seen about 4 Ryanair.
Yeah,
a couple of EasyJets. Is York with the ball. Bedford have equalised, and 2-2 at Lowestoft. So they're keeping up their threat as Loza has a throw in back to McClintock. McClintock back to Loza. Loza juggling with Howell and falls over. Howell puts the ball out for a throw in right down by the corner flag on the left hand side. Bedford play Stratford next, I think, in the run-in. So they do. So if they do get a draw at Lowestoft, that was a point I didn't think Lowestoft would get ball with Loza from there. Cries of offside, and the flag goes up. Getting near the finishing line in this game. Chris Nicky, with the ball.
Got another minute, Paul, I think, of normal time, and then whatever the referee decides he wants to add on.
Well, the ball is with Wes York, who humps it into no man's land. It's going to be collected by Haynes. He gets the ball back to Krasnicki.
Got a player down, Paul, just following that collision there between Gary Owen and Lewis White there. He just fell awkwardly.
Isn't Gary Owen? It's Cohen, not Owen. I thought he said
Cohen.
Owen.
Sorry.
I thought Gary Owen was rugby term.
Well, he can come on as well if he wants, but
Lewis White's shoulder as well. He's not happy.
It was just he fell awkwardly there. It was just nothing in it really, just a bit of a challenge after the ball. But he's up. Don't want to have any more time that they could possibly need as another jet goes overhead. It's probably a bunch of Poppy supporters heading out to celebrate somewhere on the continent if we can keep this 2-0 line up. Yes.
Well, the ball is back with Thompson, the captain, and he almost slips. Loza comes through, and keeper had to react quickly there. That would have been 3-0. As Kelly Evans can't get the ball, nor can Pennant. Pennant does well, gets the ball back though, and handball by the Bishop players on the floor, and the referee gives the free kick in Ketterin's favour. And this is just the boost that the Poppies needed. And going into that game against Royston next week. Looks like there's 5 minutes of time added on. Well, Kettering scored 2 goals in that last week.
Well, this is all. Let's hope there's another 2 because it's going to help.
Yeah, more goals the merrier, as Edwards can't get the ball, but it's on the far side with Russell.
Still 2-2.
Throwing on the far side.
Still 2-2 at Lowestoft.
No doubt Bedford will get a 98th minute winner. They normally do, don't they?
Well, it's probably more like Telford who usually score the late winners the way it is at the moment, but we can only concentrate on what's happening here.
You can look after yourself as Howell gets the ball to Scott. Scott sends the ball in. White and Hart sort of get the ball away. The chance here for the number 14. Might try a long ranger. Goes one way, then falls over, and McClintock robs him. Gets it out to Pennant. Pennant on that far side. Comes off the foot of... Pennant. I thought it came off the foot of a Bishop player for a Kettering throw-in, but they've seen it the other way. 2-0 to the Poppies. Got to think about man of the match. We'll get the official one later. We've had a discussion with our third member, but some not nominees today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned it already, I think Lewis has played fantastically well at the back, especially as Johnson's gone off. I think he had a great game. Rangers had probably his best game in the Kettering shirt for quite some time. Wes York's had a good game. Goodye's been solid. It's been a good all-round performance. It's difficult to pick out one, but I'd probably give it to Lewis to be at this stage. But let's see what happens.
Yep, still 4 minutes or so to go as Kelly Evans hooks the ball away. Only arrives at Russell, and there is White. Plays the ball out wide to Pennant on that byline, which he's hugging. Pennant going forward, still going forward. He's got Edwards and Loza in front of him. There is still Pennant, goes down to the corner flag. And is in there, does well. It goes out for a Kettering Town throw-in. Pennant did well there. More time evaporating. And throw-in to Kettering. Hart drops the ball. Should be a bit further down, I think, Ben, but he's being marshalled by the assistant to take it. Been taken towards Edwards. He does well, gets the ball back to White. White and loses the ball and gives away a throw-in. Incidental as time is running out, thankfully. A good Kettering Town win here. Only lost here once, many moons ago. 4-1 that day. viewings was our only goal scorer. But we've had a few more viewings than that today, a couple. First goal scored by Ranger for the penalty spot when Lowe's was brought down. And then Pennant latching on to a Ranger assist. And referee gives a free kick there for God knows what. Richard Lavery wasn't happy. I won't repeat what he said, but couldn't believe it. Free kick been taken quickly. Scott hoists the ball into the penalty area. Gudger solid, gets the ball out to Pennant. Pennant now going forward. Pennant opens his legs here. Pennant, he's only got McClintock up there with him, joining him now. And he's fouled on the far side. That seems to be the tactic for Bishop. They get by it, foul them. That's certainly what happened at Latimer Park, and it's Scott, their best player, who brought down Pennant.
But again, needless foul.
Needless foul.
There's no. All right, Pennant was going forward, but he had 4 Bishop players around him. It's just not going to benefit them at all, but it benefits us. And the referee's indicated he's standing over the ball, so it's probably at least maybe a minute and a half left of the 5 that he indicated were extra as a result of the injuries that we've had the second half. So I suspect we'll probably try and go to the corner.
I'd try and get another goal personally. You know, I think this thing in the corner is a bit of a waste of time, really, but get more goals.
I guess that might be the idea, but that's where he's going. Yeah. Tony Edwards underneath it, but it goes beyond him and goes for a goal kick out for Bishop Stortford as Richard Lavery prowls his technical area, having a chat with Tom Cherry, and Frankie thinks it's over, but we're still playing.
We are, as Nicky gets the ball out. Referee doesn't look at his watch yet. Won by Storer to Hart. Hart just rifles that one into the sky. Referee does look at his watch, and there goes the whistle. The Poppies have done it. A fantastic win here, 2-0. They're back. And what a tremendous result, Doug. 2-0. Both goals in the second half, a thoroughly deserved victory. And with results around, who knows how it's going to pan out in the next few games. But Kettering firing in the right direction.
100%, Paul. Really good performance today. This is not a difficult place. This is a difficult place to come from, but the performance was really key. We've had a couple of injuries to some key players there as well. Fanodge not been available. Connor Johnson going off. But nevertheless, at the moment, it's still 2-2 at Lowestoft. Telford and Hales Owen are both being held 0-0. The Poppies faithful have come out in numbers, which has been fantastic to see, even with the transport problems we've had. But we appreciate everybody staying with us on the chat as well. But a great performance, a really good result for us, Paul, and it sets us up for the last run in, 3 left.
Yep, exactly right. The players going over to the Kettering fans who, as Doug said, come out in numbers. Tremendous, tremendous victory. And it all going to be a cracking game, hopefully next week against Royston. But we leave you here from the RDA Stadium. Bishop Stortford 0, the Mighty Poppies 2, and we'll see you next week.